Americans, this will change everything in your financial system as you know it. And will XRP be the liquidity solve for the dramatic banking system that we have right now? The banking system that has all the liquidity sucked out of it, a debt-based system. So in today's video, we're going to break down Russia and China teaming up against America. As we put sanctions on them, they're building stronger and stronger. My name is Coach JV. What I work to do is make very complex macro and microeconomic strategies very simple so the normal everyday person can implement them. I have two amazing free resources for you. So in the description of this video or in my social media platform, you can set up a free consultation with my licensed team. Basically, what we'll teach you how to do is we show you how we protect our wealth. Very, very important using insurance. So basically, we also have a free book as well that helps you understand my patterns, exactly what I'm doing on the back end of every single video. Everything I'm sharing with you is coming from my current paradigm and things that I'm actually doing within the physical paradigm to prepare for one of the greatest financial transfers in our living history. So today we're going to break that down. So first we're going to start out with my favorite, Ray Dalio's Changing World Order. If you have not read this book, I highly, highly recommend that you read this book. Okay, so we're going to keep referencing back to this so that we can understand at a deep level what is actually happening. And I think we can all agree that we have number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We have wealth gaps, which is number 12. Since 1971, the wealth gap has become massive. We have large debts in America. Our taxes are going to pay debt. We can't even afford to run as a country. We have printing money, more money that was printed than in history in the last 24 months, or excuse me, from 2020 to 2022. Internal conflict within America, left versus right. We have the threat of loss of reserve currency. We have weak leadership in America. You can make that decision. And civil war and revolution. This presidential election is going to cause a divide within America. Okay. So we're going to listen to Ray Dalio, one of my favorite asset managers. He actually retired from Bridgewater Associates. And we're going to listen to what he says, and I'm going to show you the facts, figures, numbers, logic around China and Russia, what they're doing. So as Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, the first thing Biden did was sanction them off the SWIFT system, or work to sanction them. And he keeps putting sanctions on Russia, and what they're doing is they're cooperating outside of us to work to de-dollarize from us. Check this out.
These sort of various cross currents that are taking place. And I'm curious how you think that is going to weigh. And I've been reading you on LinkedIn now because you've been writing lots about what happens in the midst of these geopolitical crises, but how to think about the economy in that context.
Well, I think, as you know, I think there are five major forces that repeated through history, and those are the debt money economic force, the internal conflict force, which is the big conflict in terms of the elections and so on, the external geopolitical force, which is the struggle for the control of the world order, the climate issue. Throughout history, climate has killed more people than anything, and Lord knows it's bigger force now. And then, of course, technology. And so we have all of these forces coming together in 2024. So if we look at them individually, and you put them together, they each affect each other, right? The presidential election and will affect the markets, and then the markets will also affect the amount of money that we're spending on wars will have an effect, and they are all coming together. I think that 24 will be a pivotal year because when we meet next year at this time, we will be able to look back on particularly the internal conflict force and particularly the geopolitical force.
Okay, so he talked about technology, which is a change in everything. AI technology, distributed ledger technology, on-demand liquidity, information, ISO, messaging systems. Guys, everything has changed. We're 100 years since 1913. Everything changes. Everything changes. So what we are doing is we're moving with this wave of change, and we're investing in real world fundamental technologies or cryptocurrencies that we think will change the world. And a lot of us, we're all guessing. Every single one of us is guessing, but we're making educated guesses, just like Ray Dalio, by studying history to understand patterns. So here's what's actually happening. On the back end of this video, I'm going to show you a video from Brad Garlinghouse, where they ask him, could XRP solve the liquidity crisis in America? So if we look right here, Russia, China team up against the US dollar with planned blockchain payment system. The independent BRICS payment system will be based off of state-of-art tools such as digital technologies and blockchain. Okay. Russia signs into law allowing digital asset usage for sanction busting payments. El Salvador to transfer a big chunk of their Bitcoin to physical vault. And we saw that video where the El Salvador president basically called America's system a Ponzi scheme, where he breaks down how we print money to buy treasury bonds. I mean, it's just wild, man. Our fractional reserve system is a Ponzi scheme. You put your money in a bank and they lend it to the next person, right? And then they lend it to the next person, and your money gets doubled over and over again. We're just a debt-based society. So if you don't understand that you're a debt-based society and you don't understand how money works, you'll always be enslaved to the monetary system. Bitcoin takes over gold in investors' portfolio allocation. JP Morgan. Bitcoin's allocation investor portfolio has reached 3.7 times that of gold when adjusted for volatility, according to JP Morgan analysts. Now, here's the thing. I want you to, this keyword right here, volatility. This is why I have an exit plan. Okay. This is why I'll be exiting 50% of my portfolio from 2024 to 2026 as it hits my exit targets. And I'll be securing at the bottom of the risk pyramid and borrowing from the bottom of the risk pyramid to buy more assets when it comes back down, and repeating the process. Okay. Why I'm doing this is because I believe our banking system is in a massive liquidity crisis. I've been studying this for a very long time. I'm doing the best I can to understand where to put my money as the wave of energy changes. So this was posted by XRP Daily on Twitter. I want you to listen to Brad Garlinghouse when they asked him a question around the liquidity crisis, and can XRP solve that liquidity crisis?
I love the easy questions.
You might not love this one,
Uh-oh.
but I'd pay all my XRP to have you answer it. Maybe not really. With Ripple focused on providing on-demand liquidity and the world facing what's probably the biggest liquidity crisis ever, what role do you see XRP and XRP Ledger and similar technologies playing in alleviating such a crisis?
Well, so if you think about like what causes those kinds of crises, one of the dynamics, and by the way, there's lots of inputs into a crisis like that. One of them is friction. One of them is time. If you can reduce friction as measured by time and cost, that's good. Mm-hmm. That's just a good thing to minimizing, the risks of liquidity issues. Like I don't pretend that XRP is a panacea for all of these issues. What I do believe is if we can successfully integrate into the existing system, we're going to more rapidly bring the benefits of these technologies to a much, much, much broader audience than if we try to circumvent the system. So I've been incredibly pleased by the engagement we've had, ranging from the IMF to, central banks. Look, Ripple's going to continue to work with those players. That's part of why we made the announcements we made this week about expanding, or really creating our presence more concretely here in Washington, D.C. And I'm optimistic that if these technologies continue to propagate across correspondent banking, but other industries, that's going to be good for any liquidity crisis.
Okay. So there you go. You heard it from the horse's mouth, guys. It's just a change in a banking system. Everybody's getting so caught up in, this is going to survive. This is not going to survive, guys. Some things aren't going to survive. We know that. The regulation's coming. It's coming, guys. We're not going to avoid regulation. They're not going to just let us create our own monetary system. It's never been that way, guys. Think about that. When they walked up to Jesus, he said, "Who do we pay our taxes to?" He said, "Who's on the coin?" They said, "Caesar." They said, "Pay your taxes to Caesar. Give to God what is his, and give to me what is mine." We're fighting an invisible enemy, guys. We're fighting an invisible enemy. And one of the things that I stopped doing was focusing on the invisible enemy and focus on the things that I can do, to protect my family, to protect my wealth. So here's exactly what I'm doing in my current paradigm. So I use Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. I'm the creator and co-founder of Merlin. Basically, I set up exit targets. Okay, I have it set up on our dummy account so I can show you here. I set up exit targets so that I get alerted when I'm close to my exit. And I don't care when the bull run ends. I care when I hit my exit targets. So I'm exiting 50% of my portfolio. I'm holding 50% long term. As I exit 50%, I'll pay mostly short-term capital gains or long-term capital gains. Long-term capital gains because I've held since for a while. And if it's short-term, then I'll weigh out the risk to reward, right? So most likely my Bitcoin will be in short-term or long-term in 2025. I'm trying to remember the math. I started buying Bitcoin last year. So halfway through this year, I'll be in long-term capital gains. So you want to make sure you understand long-term, short-term capital gains. I will pay my taxes, okay? And then for me, I'm max funding my index universal life policies. That's what works for me personally, okay? From there, I like that because I like to access money tax-free. For me, I can borrow against my insurance policies tax-free, okay? If they're properly funded, properly set up, that's extremely important. Once I pull that money tax-free, I can buy more assets. Okay, so whether it's more businesses, whether it's more precious metals, whether it's real estate, anything like that, right? Then my 50% that I'm holding, when it gets to that long-term status, we get into the bear market, I'll be staking for interest income, free money. And then a portion of it, I will collateralize to get more tax-free money to buy more assets. And then with the cash generated money from the assets that I buy, I will buy more assets. And you just repeat the process. I'm diversified across different platforms, cryptocurrency, business, insurance, and now we're going to be heading into real estate. Okay. It's a very simple strategy. It's diversification. So many people are just relying on cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is not your retirement. Everybody's getting caught up in this meme coin trend. That is a very addictive behavior to create. Yeah, you're going to hit a couple meme coin pumps, but you're going to think that's going to keep going. And if you build those types of behaviors, those are habits. Those are habits. It is not operating as an intelligent investor. An intelligent investor looks at long-term, short-term. They weight their portfolio based on risk. Do I have some shit coins? Absolutely. I have Shiba and Dogecoin. Okay. I hit my exit targets on Shiba just recently. 2 exit targets. I exited the market. Those 2 exit targets, right? So I'm still holding a lot of Shiba, and as it goes up, I'll exit. There's no emotional attachment to XRP, to Bitcoin, to Shiba, to Doge. I'm not emotionally attached to any of these cryptocurrencies. What I'm mostly attached to is a foundation of wealth, of discipline, of consistency, creating healthy habits, and providing resources for my ecosystem and family. That's simple. That's simple. So I hope this information reaches you guys well. Everything in the description of the video. We also have my free book that you can download, which I explain exactly what I'm doing, what I talk about here. We have Merlin. You can do 30 days for free to set up your exit plan. We also have customer service, a whole YouTube channel dedicated to Merlin to teach you how to do things. Actual on-phone customer service. We have live customer service as well. You can also set up a free consultation with my licensed insurance team. Okay, so we can help you with understanding what it means to insure your family and your wealth as well. Okay, there's many different products and services within insurance that could help you protect your family. That's really, really important. That's the biggest thing for me, is protecting my family and my ecosystem. I'm not worried about getting rich quick. I want wealth is built slowly, methodically, with patience, persistence, and then building a great foundation for your family. That's what we should be doing right now. There's a massive wave of energy happening right now, guys. There's a massive wave of energy, and I see a lot of really bad behaviors being created in crypto where everybody's chasing meme coins. That's a really bad investment strategy. It just is. I'm just telling you guys. Wealthy people are not chasing meme coins. They're not trying to catch the next pump and dump. That is not a good strategy at all. It creates really bad behaviors. It's an addictive behavior, just my opinion. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.